While I was planning our 15-year anniversary party, my wife was planning a secret trip with her work friend. I found out when I called her hotel to upgrade her room. The receptionist said, "Mr. and Mrs. Martin already checked in." My last name isn't Martin. I waited until the day of the party, let everyone arrive, and then stood on stage with a slide presentation. "This isn't a celebration," I said. "It's a farewell party." The final slide was a photo of them kissing in the hotel pool. Her father took off his glasses. Her mother slapped her. She never even took a bite of the cake. "My name's Mike. I'm 47. I live in Charleston, South Carolina. I run my own small contracting company, mostly residential work. Not rich, but I do okay. I've always tried to do right by my family. I grew up with nothing, so building a decent life meant something to me. My wife, Erica, and I had been married 15 years. We had 2 kids, ages 12 and 10, boy and girl, a dog named Bear. Just normal. We met when we were in our 20s. She worked in payroll back then. I was still doing crew work for someone else, trying to get enough clients to start my own business. She liked that I was always busy, never lazy. I liked that she had her act together. Smart, organized, grounded. She helped me with the business in the early years, set up QuickBooks, did the taxes, helped make flyers. We were a team. Things changed a little after she went back to school for HR. She wanted a better job. I supported it. She got her master's and started working at a decent-sized company downtown. It was good money. I was proud of her. We had a better house now. Vacations. Stability. About a year ago, she started talking about this guy from work. Not in a weird way at first. Just mentioned him during random stories. Darren messed up the spreadsheet again. Or Darren's the guy who always takes the last donut. Stuff like that. She said he was a corporate liaison from Charlotte who came down every few weeks to manage accounts or whatever. I didn't think much of it. Then she started staying later at the office. Said she was training people, onboarding new clients, that kind of thing. Again, nothing that set off alarms, just annoying. The kids missed her at dinner. She missed a school play. But I figured it was temporary. A new promotion or new responsibilities. I didn't press. Then in July, I started working on a surprise. 15 years married, that felt like a big deal to me. My parents never made it that far. Hers barely did. So I thought, let's make this special. I rented out a banquet room at the Charleston Harbor Resort, right on the water. I paid for catering, a nice cake, open bar. Got a playlist together. Dug up our wedding video and some old home footage to play during the event. Even invited the pastor who married us. She had no idea. Then 2 weeks before the party, I found a receipt in her purse. I wasn't snooping. I was looking for gum. But there it was, folded up, stuffed in the side pocket of her bag. A hotel folio. The kind they slip under your door after checkout. It was from a resort up in Asheville. Expensive place. Spa, private fireplaces, hiking trails. Check-in, Friday, August 18th. 2 guests. 1 queen bed. Weekend stay. I stared at it for a minute. I knew that weekend. It was the weekend before our anniversary. She told me she had a corporate retreat that Friday to Sunday. Said she'd be gone 2 nights. That was it. I asked her about it casually the next morning. How was that Asheville trip coming along? "Oh, it's just for a conference," she said. Kind of boring. Don't wait up. That night after she went to bed, I checked her laptop. She always kept it logged in. I didn't even need her password. Her email was open. I searched Asheville. I found the booking confirmation. Reservation for Erica and Martin. King Suite. Fireplace. Spa package for 2. Martin. My last name is not Martin. That's when something cracked. I sat there for hours just staring at the screen, clicking through emails. Nothing else obvious, but my gut knew. I've been lied to before. You don't grow up in a broken family and not learn to spot a lie when it's in front of you. I waited until she went to bed the next night and called the hotel myself. "Hi, I'm calling to upgrade a reservation for my wife. Erica, my last name." The woman on the line was sweet. "Oh, Mr. Martin already checked in with her earlier today." I didn't respond. I just hung up. The kids were at my sister's house that weekend for a sleepover. I told her not to bring them back until Sunday. I got in my truck Friday night and drove 5 hours to Asheville. Checked into a room at the same resort. It wasn't hard to figure out where they were staying. I walked past the spa and saw her laughing in the hot tub with him. She was wearing the same red bikini I bought her 2 summers ago. She was sitting in his lap, arms around his neck. He kissed her, She kissed him back. I took the photo. No one saw me. I left that night. Drove back to Charleston before the sun came up. Didn't sleep. I sat in my living room, staring at the photo on my phone. Thought about deleting it. Thought about pretending it hadn't happened. But every time I closed my eyes, I saw that moment. She came home Sunday night, kissed me on the cheek. Said, "Long trip, I'm wiped. You're the best for holding down the fort." I smiled. For the next week, I finalized everything for the anniversary party. I made one small change. I added one final slide to the slideshow. The night of the party, she looked stunning. Dressed in navy blue, heels, hair done. Hugged her parents, kissed our daughter on the head. Everyone clapped when we walked into the room. Over 100 people were there. Friends from church, family, people from my job and hers. We had dinner. Her dad gave a toast. When it was my turn, I went up to the mic. "Thank you all for being here. I know this was supposed to be a celebration of our 15 years together. But tonight isn't that kind of party. It's not a celebration. It's a farewell." People laughed, awkwardly at first. Thought I was joking. Then the slideshow started. Wedding pictures. First apartment. Kids being born. Family trips. Then the photo. Them. In the pool. His hands around her waist. Her tongue in his mouth. Silence. Her mom gasped. Her dad took off his glasses. My sister looked down and shook her head. My cousin whispered, "What the hell?" Erica didn't move. Didn't blink. Her mom slapped her. Her dad asked, "Who is he?" I walked off stage. Walked right out the door. She didn't follow. She never even touched the cake. After I walked out of that banquet hall, I got in my truck and drove. I didn't have a plan. I didn't go home. I ended up in the parking lot of my shop, sitting in the dark, gripping the steering wheel like it was the only thing holding me together. My phone was blowing up. Texts, missed calls. From her parents, even from a few of her friends. I didn't answer any of them. I stayed there until the sun came up. Monday morning, I got the kids up for school like nothing happened. Made breakfast. Packed lunches. When they asked where their mom was, I said she had to go out of town for work again. I didn't know how to explain any of it yet. That afternoon, Erica came home. She walked in the door like she lived there. No knock. No warning. Just walked right into the kitchen where I was sitting with Bear at my feet, drinking coffee I couldn't taste. "We need to talk," she said. I didn't look at her. "You can get your things and go." She started crying. "Please, Mike, let me explain. You were in a pool with your tongue down another man's throat," I said flat. "What's left to explain?" She pulled out a chair and sat down across from me. I didn't mean for it to happen. I laughed. It just came out. A short, bitter laugh. "Yeah, they never do." She told me she'd been unhappy. That I was always working. That I didn't notice when she was trying to connect. That Darren, yes, that was his name, was just a friend at first. That it got out of hand. That it was only physical. "You threw away 15 years for physical?" She didn't answer that. I stood up. Told her to leave. She refused. "I have a right to be here," she said. "This is my house too." She had a point. Legally, at least. So I left instead. Took the dog, got in the truck, and stayed with my brother across town. He gave me a spare key and a beer. Didn't ask questions. Just sat with me in silence while the weight of it all hit me. Over the next few days, things got ugly. She froze the joint account. I had already moved most of the money into a new one in my name, but still, just the fact she'd do that? After what she did, she started telling people I'd overreacted, that we had issues for a long time, that I embarrassed her in front of family for no reason, that I was controlling. Her friends believed her. Some of our mutual friends stayed quiet. A few of my friends told me they knew something was off about her months ago. Then I got a call from Darren's wife. Apparently, she saw the photo when one of Erica's coworkers leaked it. She was 3 months pregnant. Her voice was shaking. "Thank you," she said, "for showing everyone. I would have never known." Turns out Darren had been cheating on her for years. Erica was just the latest. That opened a whole new door. Lawyers got involved. Erica tried to play the victim. Tried to get the house. Tried to claim I was unstable, that I humiliated her in a public setting and traumatized the kids. But the judge saw through it. Her own parents wrote statements on my behalf. So did my sister. The final straw was when I showed the texts. Erica had messaged Darren the day after the party, saying she missed him, blaming me for ruining things. I got primary custody. She got supervised visits until further review. I moved back into the house with the kids. took down all the old pictures, donated her clothes, started fresh. But that's not the end. A month later, I found out something else. A month later, I was going through the storage unit we'd rented before she moved out. I was looking for my camping gear. My son had been asking to go for weeks, and I figured it'd be good for both of us to get away for a few days. I opened one of the plastic bins labeled holiday decor, but what I found wasn't ornaments or lights. There were letters, printed emails, photos, dozens of them, stuffed in a manila folder, rubber banded together. It was from before Darren. Some dated back 3 years. Different names, different cities, different men, business trips, conferences. A few had hotel receipts. Others had screenshots from her email or social media DMs. At first, I didn't understand what I was looking at. Then it clicked. Darren wasn't the first. He was just the one who got caught. I sat down right there on the concrete floor of that storage unit and felt the air go out of my lungs. She'd been lying to me for years. All those work trips, all those weekends she was helping her mom. I never questioned them. I trusted her. I didn't even know where to begin with it. Some of the messages were filthy. Others were emotional. In one, she told some guy named Sean that she dreamed about moving away with him. In another, she told a man called Ricky that she loved him and wished Mike wasn't such a dead weight. Dead weight. I was the man who built our house, paid off her student loans, raised our kids while she ran around playing out her second life. When I got home, I scanned everything. I emailed a copy to my lawyer. Then, for the first time since the party, I called her. "You need to stop trying to twist this around," I said. She was quiet for a second. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't you?" I said. "Because I've got a folder full of your other boyfriends, some dating back to 2020. Should I send that to the judge too?" Her tone changed fast. "You went through my things? That's private." "So is a marriage," I said. "But you didn't seem to care much about that." She started yelling, saying I was violating her privacy, that it was none of my business who she talked to before. "You made it my business the second you brought other men into our life while I was planning a party to celebrate us." She hung up. A few hours later, I got an email from her lawyer. She was threatening to take me to court for harassment if I shared any of the files. But it was too late for that. I already had a meeting set with the family court officer, and I wasn't backing down. The twist? It turns out one of the men in the emails was her boss at the company she still worked for. HR director. Married. Guess who else got a copy of that folder? Her company's board. I didn't even have to say a word. I just dropped it in the company's anonymous HR tip line. A week later, Erica was fired for violating professional boundaries and company code of ethics. Her boss was let go too. She lost the job, the house, custody of the kids, and now the one man she risked everything for didn't even answer her calls. Because I also sent the photos to his wife. And she, apparently, had her own revenge plan in motion. But even with all that, it still didn't feel finished. Not yet. I thought I'd feel better once I burned it all down. Her marriage, her lies, her career. But the truth is, revenge doesn't fix what's broken. It just clears the wreckage so you can see how deep the damage really goes. The kids asked fewer questions as time went on. They knew something happened. Kids always do. My daughter stopped asking when mom would be back. My son started sleeping in my bed some nights. He never said it out loud, but I knew he didn't feel safe at her place anymore. I got full custody in the end. The judge reviewed the messages, the photos, and her history. He said, "This is a clear pattern of deceit and instability." Gave her supervised visits once a month. Even those started going badly, she'd cry the whole time, or try to guilt the kids, or ask them questions about me. Eventually, my daughter said, "Can we just skip it?" I talked to a therapist about it. She said we had to let the kids decide when they were ready. So I stopped forcing it. Meanwhile, I tried to move on. I threw myself into work, expanded the business, took more time off with the kids, started working out again, eating better. I even joined a support group, other divorced dads, guys like me who got blindsided. But here's where I'll be honest. I made mistakes too. I didn't see the signs. I didn't listen when she said she felt alone. I wasn't as present as I should have been. I worked too much, thinking the paycheck was love enough. But here's what I didn't do. I didn't lie. I didn't cheat. I didn't throw my family away for cheap hotel room thrills. She did that all on her own. And karma? Karma took its time, but it came swinging. Last month, I ran into her at the grocery store. She looked tired, worn down, no makeup, in a sweatshirt that was too big. She tried to avoid me, but we bumped carts in the freezer aisle. "Hi," she said, quiet. I nodded. "Hey." We stood there for a second in silence. Then she said, "I miss them." "You should have thought about that when you were with Darren. And Sean. And Ricky." She looked down. "I know." She tried to say more, but I walked away. I don't hate her. Not anymore. But I'll never forgive her either. The anniversary party was supposed to be a beginning. Instead, it was the loudest, clearest ending I could give. And sometimes, that's what love turns into, not hate. Just silence. Just walking away while the cake melts, and the guests stare, and your kids finally see the truth. We didn't get a happily ever after, but we got free. And sometimes, that's the best revenge of all.